Hey, Shalom Israel. Shalom, Shalom. Priest and Officer of 1,000, Sharat Zahalak here. With me is Priest and Officer of 1,000, Thamayam. As you guys know, Labor Day, it's just a couple days away. Uh, the first Monday of September, which is September the 1st. And today's topic is about Labor Day. You know what I mean? Labor Day, is often seen as just a holiday. A lot of people, a lot of our people, we take the day off. We go to a cookout, or we go shopping, have a little barbecue or whatever. But a lot of us don't know the real origin of Labor Day. You know what I mean? So we're gonna break down the origin of Labor Day for you guys today. And Labor Day really comes from the struggle and suffering and the sacrifice of Black people. You understand? Poor Black people who resisted, you know, harsh and brutal working conditions. All right, so we're about to get into the history of Labor Day, the origin of Labor Day, and you know, we're gonna drop some knowledge for you.
Right. Yeah, right. Man, it's very important that we understand that Labor Day is not just a day that you celebrate having a day off. It's more than that. Okay? It's the pain and suffering of your people, man. Just like Sharatazar said, these are poor men porter laborers that just came out of slavery, Sharatazar.
Mm-hmm.
These workers just came out of slavery. And they thinking they free. They think they free from the hard labors of the plantation. And here you go, right back under this devil that lives close to Chicago named George Pullman. Put you right back in another same kind of condition of slavery that you just left when you got so-called free from the plantation. Hey, you might got free from the plantation, Black people, but what you need to understand, America is just a big old plantation that they sophisticated. America, the United States of America is just a big old plantation, man. All right? It's universal. You could choose your slave master. You can choose who you want to work for. But guess what? You still going to work for the people that got you in captivity. You still going to serve them. You can pick who you choose to serve, but you're going to serve them no matter how you put it. And these Pullman porter laborers that just got out of slavery, their children had to work. Instead of going to school, right? They had to go to work. His wife had to go to work. The man had to go to work. A lot of them had to pull 100 hours a week because George Pullman wasn't paying them enough. He wasn't paying them enough, man. And eventually, they watched the oppressors, the pilgrims that they served. They watched their behaviors and how they react to things, and they learned that there was a big difference between them, which is the pilgrims, the people that's on these sleeping carts, because these sleeping carts are actually trains that got luxury rooms in them that you can sleep in, while you on your trip riding down the railroad tracks to New York or Birmingham, Alabama, wherever you plan on going. You get to relax in the bed and get served by the same slaves that you just said you freed. They shining your shoes. They cleaning your sheets. Hand and foot serving you food. But we so-called this guy of slavery. Man, the land of America, these people that we serve are hypocrites, man. You can't listen to what they say. You got to pay attention to what they do.
Right.
Just like right now today, Donald Trump is making it where Black people going to have to end up working for free. That's what they want. That's what he wants. He wants you to end up working for free or not barely making nothing. But that's the way they like it. That's when America was great. When they was making all the money and you was making nothing. That's when America was great to them. To see you on the lowest level on the bottom. That's what they want. And they're not going to be satisfied until they see it. All right? But we're going to get into this article. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into this article about these brothers, you know, that finally stood up for themselves and said, we tired of y'all, man. And we ain't working for y'all no more. And guess what? Black people still going to celebrate Labor Day, but it's my job to show you why you shouldn't celebrate Labor Day. Because they took Black history out of Labor Day. Why? Because they don't want to recognize no kind of Black history. They don't want to honor Black people when they come to America. They want to say they did it all. We did everything. You know what I'm saying? We put this together, and Black people, chill out. You ain't do too much. You ain't do what you saying that you did. You know? But when you see almost every American holiday, or half of these American holidays, for some reason, they always have a Black beginning.
Right.
A Black foundation. When you look up how the White House was built, Black people built the White House. Why we always go to the source of American history? It begins with Black people. I'll tell you why. Because these damn oppressors are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and they want to hide it from us. They want to hide your greatness so they can look great when they are nothing. They're nothing but deceivers, man. Deceivers and manipulators.
Right.
Only if Black people knew all the great things that we done over here in this place, you will understand who really should be called a real American and who should be called an alien, who should be called a illegal immigrant. It's definitely not my Mexican brothers, and it's definitely not us, because we built this disgusting place. What did they build? Huh? What did they build? Murder? Rape, robbing, and stealing? Yeah, man. Prisons? That's what they do. They build things to bring oppression, horror, and terror to people, man. Nothing great, nothing amazing and honorable. And that's why we should separate, man. That's why we should separate, because there's nothing you could do to make them respect you. Even though the days they celebrate started with your pain and your suffering and your oppression by the hands of them. But let's get into it, Warrior.
Right. I got the article. Says Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters Union formed. The Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters was founded on August 25th, 1925 in New York City. The union was led by A. Philip Randolph and was the first predominantly African-American labor union. The members of the
let's get to the part where it's talking about the Pullman strike. This is talking about the Black union, you know, that they formed, you know, after the Pullman strike.
Pullman strike.
Yeah, let's go down to the second paragraph. You know, they had to create their own union because the union that was in that area was all white, and they the ones that actually went on strike and start working, but they didn't want the Black workers, the Black Pullman porters, to join their strike because they was not looked at as human beings, as equals. All right, they wanted them to just go to work or stay home, but you can't be a part of this strike. You can't unify with us. You can't join us. You know, this is not about you. This is about us getting our money. In their mind, you deserve to get your wages cut in half. You deserve not even to get your wages cut in half. We really want to see you work for free. So we don't care about you getting paid. We care about the white Pullman porters getting paid. the people that, you know, the white society that worked for George Pullman, it was all about their union. It was an all-white union, no color allowed. All right, and these same people, they made sure that the Pullman porters were not recognized for Labor Day. All right, that's why when you celebrate Labor Day, you think it's all about anybody who worked could take a day off and eat some barbecue. But how many people you know that don't even have a job, Shabbat Zah, but they celebrate Labor Day?
Right.
You know, the shit called a Supervisor Day because it's all about these damn devils, man. Should be called Labor Day. Call it Supervisor Day because these devils don't work. They don't do no labor. They don't sweat like us. That should be a day that Black and Hispanics have off and get paid and get a free check for that day and have a vacation. Because when it comes to labor, these damn pilgrims don't know nothing about it. They should. The name labor should vex their souls, Sharatazah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know they hate labor. They hate to work hard and get it the right way. You know? That's not them. Yeah, Labor Day should be called Supervisor Day, since you don't want to attach the real history to Labor Day, which is a Black foundation. Change it to Supervisor Day, because you know when I see these devils celebrate that day, man, I'm like, why in the hell are you celebrating the folk? You don't sweat and bleed like us. Yeah, but our people still gonna look forward to that day, right? With them baby back ribs.
Yep.
And drinking all the beer and getting drunk. But read on.
It says civil rights leader A. Philip Randolph was chosen to be the leader of the Brotherhood
No,
of
go down some more. I want to get the Pullman strike. Yeah, this is after the the Pullman strike. See anything?
I see it says the Pullman porters never held the strike, but the planned strike did provide additional publicity for the union.
Yeah, do we got any kind of more information above that paragraph?
It says, let me see. Okay. Another publication that altered public opinion was a pamphlet called The Pullman Porter, which informed an unaware public of the poor working conditions and wages faced by the porters. Although a strike was considered and the date set for June 8th, 1928, the Pullman porters never held the strike, but the planned strike did provide additional publicity for the union. The porters based their demands off the ones made by another union, the Order of the Sleeping Car Conductor, founded 2 years before the Employee Representation Plan in 1920.
Okay, that's still after that happened. I need the event where they had to go on strike. The actual time everything happened. This is after I could say you might go to the last paragraph, Salakia.
Okay. Uh, okay.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Okay, I see it says the BSCP faced resistance from both the Pullman Company, the American Federation of Labor, and from Black leaders who viewed the Pullman Company as one of the better organizations that hired African Americans. Pullman employees known to be unionizing were often dismissed from service and so it was hard to convince porters to join the PSCP. Um, Another struggle was the Great Depression, which caused a reduction in membership. It took 12 years from the formation of the union for a contract with the Pullman Company to be signed and for the
Okay. Basically, I'm gonna paraphrase everything because this article is not what I really needed. Like, far as the event, it telling what happened. Basically, what I said earlier before in the class,
Mhm.
George Pullman, you know, he decided to cut the black people wages in half and the white people wages in half, and it caused this, this strike, this boycott, and whatever you want to call it, you
Mhm.
know. But the white union workers, did not want the black people involved. They didn't give a damn about their condition. They didn't care about how the black people actually did all the damn work. did all the damn hours. They didn't care, and they
Right.
still don't care about us. All right. That's why it's so important that we drop their holidays. We
Right.
don't celebrate their holidays, man. Because their holidays, they have the audacity to claim for themselves, knowing damn well it had a black origin, a black foundation. But they'll take it and whitewashing to say, you know, hey, it was about us, or just take your history out and just make it in general to everybody. Just as long as they ain't bowing down to you and giving you some type of reverence. Your people, they already die before they do that, Sharatazar.
Right.
They prefer death. And that's what they did, man. They went and rewrote history or twisted everything up like they usually do, man. And Labor Day is just about everybody. You can anybody who work, just take a day off and eat and get drunk and appreciate America. Give thanks to America, not to those Negroes.
Mm.
Not to those Negroes who stood up against America. Oh no. That's the main reason why they couldn't do it. They didn't want to do it because it's really about black people that got tired of working for the oppressor and got tired of the oppressor oppressing them, and they finally stood up and took a stance, man.
Right.
And you know why they did that, Shabbat? Because they want that. If we knew the truth about Labor Day, that spirit to jump on us, won't it?
Yep.
And that's what they don't want. They don't want the resistance. And what I mean by the resistance, resisting their fake illusion holidays that accumulate money out of your pocket, all because you blind to the facts. But only thing you can see is a day off where you can have a good old time with your family.
Mm.
And black people go all the way out when they have a day off and they get to be around everybody, including their family. Oh, they go all the way out, man. Some of them go broke, some of them go borrow money just to impress everybody that they know on Labor Day, or just to get drunk as hell, because this is the only day we're going to have off. Hey, man, shit, let's enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The whole time, man, you celebrating the pain and suffering of your own damn people, man. Sad. Ain't it?
Yep.
Man,
Mm.
that's my people, man. And I had a scripture I want to pull. Salakia. That scripture is Amos chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think verse 26 when it says, I hate your feast days.
God.
Let's get that.
Amos
Chapter 5.
verse 26.
Uh-huh.
Amos chapter 5 and verse, I think it's 21.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Notice something. It says, I hate and I despise your feast days. Okay? God is talking to his people, Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, because we are the Israelites. And our feast days are not the feast days of the Lord. Our feast days is Easter. Our feast days is Labor Day, Memorial Day. You know, the days that don't belong to us, don't belong to our culture that God gave us. These days belong to the oppressor, days that we borrowed from him, days that he shoved down our throat. And God hates these feast days because these feast days make you forget about him and forget about who you are. You know, forget about your importance and concentrate on your enemy's importance and glory and false glory, glorifying victory that really had to do with you and your victories and what you have done, your successful mission in America. You know, he blind everybody, just whitewashed everything and said, I did it. You know, God, that's why God hated it. God hate lies, man. And everything he does is a lie.
Yep.
Labor Day is not all about you. Whoever goes to work taking the day off and y'all celebrate. It's not about that. It's about Black people being mistreated to the point where they had to create a day that everybody has off, man. To remember what happened. And you know why they want everybody to remember what happened? Don't treat people that way, man.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna have a day for everybody to remember. Don't treat people that way. The oppressor had to do it. Had to show his people. Had everybody to take a day off and to remember. Don't treat people this way. But guess what? They really don't care about the people that got treated that way. That's why they took it out of history.
Right.
So now you don't know Labor Day is really about a day of mistreatment. It's really now it's all about having fun. It's innocent. Let the kids have fun. Let the grown-ups have fun. You know, it's innocent, man. We just having a good old time. Damn lie. And God hates your feast days because God hates fairy tales. God like reality. God like the days that he chose for you to serve. Because those days he chose for you to keep is about your history, man. Okay? Labor Day was about black people's pain, but now Labor Day is really basically white supremacy. You know? Because guess what? That money you spend on that grill and on that charcoal, going to Walmart, buying all the side dishes, you know what I'm saying? The macaroni, the potato salad, all that money is accumulating in the white man's pocket.
Yep.
That's why it's white supremacy. That's not benefiting your people. That's not going to the nation of Israel, which is Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And I gave you so many numerous, suggestions on why you should hate Labor Day.
Right.
All right. Hey, I'm not telling you not to take that day off. Take that day off. Take that day off, Black man, Hispanic man. Take it off. But what I'm telling you not to do is don't take out your wallet and take your money and go spend it in Walmart and support white supremacy. So, support a day that they took Black history out of.
Right.
You should hate Labor Day because of that. You should hate Labor Day because they took your history out. Just like they hate your history, you should hate their history. You got anything to say, Shabbat?
Con, I was gonna pull a scripture. I was gonna pull Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 13. It says that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. You know, like the Most High says, a man is supposed to enjoy the fruit of his labor and not be robbed of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these oppressors do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they rob us. They always robbing us, man. They can't deal with us in a fair and just way, never. They always trying to get the most out of us. and they always abusing their power over us and everything. You know what I mean? So the Lord is against that, and we so you know they're not supposed to be, you know, like, why do we have to do the most to get, you know, treated fairly and just paid, you know, fairly? If we work, God damn it, pay us.
Right.
That's it. So we can enjoy the fruit of our labor, man. Or better yet, just leave us the hell alone and let us build our own and have our own. And that way you ain't got to worry about us. You ain't got to worry about paying us. See what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's all I had, you know?
But you know one thing, Shabbat, damn right.
Yep.
The black Pullman Porters, by them, you know, standing up for what they believed in, standing up against that oppression, man, that led to the Great Migration. The Great Migration is when black people got tired of the oppressors down south.
Mm.
You know, them not paying them right. This during the time of sharecropping, you know. Same thing, they're saying you're free and we're gonna share the crops, but in the end, or you know, you find out that they ain't sharing the crops. It's just another delusion of slavery right in front of your face.
Mm.
Man, I'm gonna teach a class. It's gonna be another class. My next class is gonna be about convict leasing. Convict leasing came out of sharecropping. Convict leasing came out of, you know, hey, you didn't meet up to this standard, or you looked at a white woman, this what they call reckless eyeballing, or
Yes.
all kind of laws they made up, Jim Crow laws, to get you just to be put in prison, locked up, and work for free. And this was called convict leasing. They're, you know, like sometimes you had debt. You was in debt with sharecropping, all kind of stuff. They made sure you stayed in some kind of debt to get you to work on the railroad tracks that Henry Flagler had in Florida on the East Coast. It was called convict leasing, man. And I truly believe Donald Trump is going back to that. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is making so many laws just to get you locked up in jail and to have you work for free. You can't see it, Shabbat. You can't see it, Shabbat. Tell me online.
Right.
Huh? All these new laws he's making up, you know, for so-called illegal immigrants and, you know, for homeless people. Just in case if you don't believe me, Donald Trump is making a law for homeless people that if he catch you sleeping outside, it's illegal to be homeless. If he catch you sleeping outside, you going to jail.
Mm.
And once you go in jail, guess what? You gonna really want to get out of that cell. And how you gonna have to get out that cell and get a fresh, you know, a breath of fresh air? Only way they're gonna let you do is go outside and work. Huh?
Yeah.
Work right beside that, you know, that highway, cutting that highway grass in all stripes, begging for somebody to throw you a pack of cigarettes or throw you some McDonald's in a bag. You know about it, Shabbat. Yeah. That's why it's so important that we must join together and separate from these oppressors, man, so we can see the trick they're trying to pull over our eyelids, man. But with that, I'm preaching officer of 1,000 Tamayam. I got with my preaching officer of 1,000 Shabbat Zahalak. This is the I.S.U.P.K history and news class. Shalom, man.
Shalom.